In this video, we will study the pathological features of global cerebral ischemia and focal cerebral ischemia. First of all, let's start with the global cerebral ischemia. In global cerebral ischemia, ischemia or loss of blood supply to the whole of cerebrum causes cytotoxic injury of the cells, and this cytotoxic injury causes cytotoxic edema. And due to this edema, the brain appears swollen. So on gross specimen, you see the brain is swollen. Now we divide the microscopic features into three parts. First is early changes that occur within day 1. The second is subacute changes which occur from day 1 up to 2 weeks. And the third is repair which occurs beyond 2 weeks. The changes which occur in day 1 are characterized by irreversible cell injury or necrosis and infiltration of acute inflammatory cells, neutrophils. Now this process of necrosis or irreversible cell injury becomes visible by the manifestation of hypereosinophilia of neurons, and when the neurons become hypereosinophilic, we call them red neurons. But why this hypereosinophilia or increase in eosinophilic staining actually happens? You know that when there is cell injury, there is degeneration, pycnosis and karyodexis of nucleus, which means that nucleus becomes degenerated. Secondly, the loss of ribosomes and rough endoplasmic reticulum present in the cytoplasm also becomes apparent. So this loss of basophilic structures that are ribosomes, rough endoplasmic reticulum and nucleus makes the cell hypereosinophilic, and we call such neurons as red neurons. And after this cell injury, there is infiltration of acute inflammatory cells that are neutrophils. So in day 1, you will see red neurons and neutrophils. Now from day 1 up to 2 weeks that are included under subacute changes are characterized by completion of the process of necrosis, and by this time the acute inflammatory cells that were neutrophils are replaced by the more chronic inflammatory cells that are macrophages, and the duty of these macrophages is to digest and disintegrate the necrotic material. And as these macrophages keep on performing their duty, there is vascular proliferation. The vascular proliferation is the hallmark or precursor of granulation tissue formation. So up to 2 weeks you see infiltration of chronic inflammatory cells that are macrophages and appearance of vascular proliferation, which will eventually becomes granulation tissue. Now lastly, the process of repair that occurs after 2 weeks of global cerebral ischemia is characterized by the removal of necrotic material that has been removed by macrophages. And now as the necrotic material has been removed, the glial cells start proliferating and make fibrous tissue to replace this disintegrated necrotic material. This increased proliferation of glial cells and formation of glial or fibrous tissue is called gliosis. So in repair process you see gliosis. So overall in microscopic features, on day 1 you see appearance of red neurons and neutrophilic infiltrates. Up to 2 weeks you see macrophages and vascular proliferation, and after 2 weeks you see gliosis. This concludes the pathological features of global cerebral ischemia. Now we will study the pathological features of focal cerebral ischemia, which appears in the form of transient ischemic attack or strokes. Now grossly, focal cerebral ischemia is in either one of these two forms, that are hemorrhagic infarcts or hemorrhagic strokes and non-hemorrhagic infarcts or non-hemorrhagic strokes. In hemorrhagic infarcts, there is appearance of hemorrhages on the surfaces of affected regions of brain. So on gross specimen you see confluent petechial hemorrhages on the surface of brain. And in cases of non-hemorrhagic infarcts that are caused by occlusion of arterial circulation, initially the brain tissue becomes pale and soft. Then this pale and soft tissue becomes more gelatinous in next 10 days, and then up to 3 weeks this gelatinous tissue develops liquefaction and cavitation, which we call as liquefactive necrosis. So in non-hemorrhagic infarcts there is progression from pale and soft tissue to gelatinous tissue, and then lastly to liquefaction and cavitation, which we finally call as liquefactive necrosis. Now let's come to the microscopic features of focal cerebral ischemia. The microscopic changes are similar to that of global cerebral ischemia, the major difference being that in global cerebral ischemia the complete cerebrum is affected, while in focal cerebral ischemia only a focal part of the brain is affected. So on microscopic features, on first day you see appearance of red neurons and edema. Then in next few days you see infiltration by neutrophils. Then up to 3 weeks you see infiltration of macrophages that liquefy the affected or necrotic region of brain, causing liquefactive necrosis. and then within several months you see gliosis, which means increase in formation of glial tissue or fibrous tissue. So the sequence of changes in focal cerebral ischemia is appearance of red neurons, appearance of neutrophils, appearance of macrophages, and finally the gliosis. This concludes the pathological features of focal cerebral ischemia.